Dubai has long been the spotlight for global real estate investors, but just 45 minutes up the coast, Ras Al Khaimah is now commanding international attention. The Wynn Resort has secured the UAE's first commercial gaming license. A second Wynn property is in motion, and top developers like Ellington are expanding. For investors, this signals a new chapter of opportunity. On today's episode of the Dubai Connect podcast, I'm joined by my colleague Ahmed and by Abdollatif, the pleasant Abdollatif from Ellington Properties, who has been with us before. Together, we'll take you through Ras Al Khaimah in two parts. In part one, we're going to explore the emirate itself. What sets Ras Al Khaimah apart from Dubai? The industries fueling its growth, government support, population trends, and how Wynn is reshaping investor sentiment. And then in part two, we'll dive more into Ellington's role in Ras Al Khaimah and why they chose Marjan Island, Hamra, and how their first projects are performing, who's buying, and how Ellington is positioning itself in the luxury property market here.
Welcome to Season 6 of the Dubai Connect podcast, a top-ranked Dubai real estate show. I'm your host of the Dubai Connect, Ghada Gigi Benitez, a certified international property specialist and a licensed realtor connecting global investors with prime real estate opportunities in Dubai's thriving market.
I feel like I had to threaten you to show up.
Beautiful thread.
But it worked.
It worked.
Hello, Abdollatif.
Thank you. First of all, what a beautiful introduction.
Thank you.
I really liked it.
Thank you.
Ahmed, again, welcome.
It's always a pleasure, Abdollatif, to have you. You have no idea how excited Gigi and I get when we know that your presence will be here.
Thank you. And I hope today will be a very useful podcast for all the viewers out there, especially locally and internationally.
Indeed.
Agree. In fact, I mean, on the podcast, surprisingly, when I first started doing this, Abdollatif, I was catering mostly to Americans, but it's grown, right? My investor base has grown. We're seeing a lot of UK investors and European investors, of course, Canadians and Americans. And there's a question that I'm asked often, right? We know Dubai. We've talked about it. We know Dubai is one of the hottest markets in the world. But there have been some announcement recently out of Ras Al Khaimah with Wynn now acquiring another property. And what I have investors ask me specifically is if they're going to invest Ras Al Khaimah or Dubai, why or why not? And I'll start off with one question. We know that Ras Al Khaimah just hit record tourist number last year, right? And what was the numbers? What are they expected to reach?
Almost up to 5 million for 2030.
5.6 actually.
Is that what it is?
Million.
Exactly.
By 2030?
By 2030.
And is that all because of the Wynn Casino, you think?
Wynn
or was
Casino
it already?
is one factor of many, many other factors.
See, that's important to understand as well. It's not just because of the casino, but the casino has really brought global attention.
Exactly.
Right?
Correct.
So actually, what are the industries in Ras Al Khaimah? What does drive Ras Al Khaimah?
First of all, have you heard of Habibi come to Dubai?
Of course.
The next one is Habibi come to Raq.
I love it. I love it.
Exactly. So you mentioned earlier that the travel distance to Ras Al Khaimah is 45 minutes.
Right?
Up to 1 hour. Depends how fast you drive, right? I reach in 40 minutes with some flashes, of course. No, joking. Please drive safely. But 2 days ago, I saw an announcement that the air taxis is going to be operating until Ras Al Khaimah with a travel distance of 15 minutes.
By 2027.
Exactly.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. This is one part of the government plan in Ras Al Khaimah. Actually, Ras Al Khaimah government, they have a plan to spend of 500 billion dirham to grow Ras Al Khaimah and many, many other industries like tourism, real estate, logistics, construction, everything.
Abdollatif, I've even heard so far, it was just a few days ago that Ras Al Khaimah government is actually expanding its airport as well.
Exactly.
They're adding more terminals.
Yes, 4 more terminals.
Exactly.
Actually.
So the whole idea, I remember Gigi and I used to discuss was at the end of the day, no matter how many people will come to visit Ras Al Khaimah, they have to stop buy Dubai first. But it seems like that's not going to be the case. Ras Al Khaimah is trying to have people directly come and land over there by expanding their airport. Did you guys hear that?
I had heard about the airport. Yes. I was fascinated by the taxi situation. And I've seen you driving. I've seen your little videos about driving to Ras Al Khaimah. And for those who don't know, right, Ras Al Khaimah is another emirate of the UAE. UAE is made up of 7 emirates. Although in the United States, people think that Dubai
is the country.
is the country. Dubai is a city, an emirate. And Ras Al Khaimah is quickly growing. I would say Abu Dhabi is already very, very well known, also to a different investment group. So actually, to that same point, what would you say is the landscape in Ras Al Khaimah right now? Aside from the casino, and we will get into that, what draws people to Ras Al Khaimah?
Ras Al Khaimah, it's... First of all, if we're going to speak about Ras Al Khaimah, let's see some numbers as well, right? Like, it's not just because of the gaming license and the Wynn Resorts and all this stuff. Today, Ras Al Khaimah has 4 ports already, all right? As you mentioned, the airport is expanding. They are acquiring more plots for the airports. There will be more 4 terminals, as I read before. And today, we have one of the biggest companies already operating from Ras Al Khaimah. I'll give you an example. Rack Ceramic. Right, it's one of the biggest rack manufacturing ceramics in the world.
Correct.
Then in the pharmacy sector, you have Jalfar and many, many other companies. Q1 2025, Ras Al Khaimah registered more than 3,800 companies in Ras Al Khaimah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is before even the gaming industry starts taking place. So manufacturing, trade, real estate, logistics, health and pharmaceuticals.
Sector. And also, there is more than 138,000 companies operating in Ras Al Khaimah.
Why do you think that is?
Because of the ease of company establishment.
Okay.
Ras Al Khaimah has its own free zone as well. Raqs basically.
And it's more cost effective
Exactly.
than
It offers
Dubai.
many, many benefits like 100% ownership companies, tax benefits, and all this stuff.
And not to forget, Gigi, land is a lot more cheaper to acquire in Ras Al Khaimah than versus Dubai.
Yeah.
For example, if you want to set up a warehouse from scratch, buy a land and build a warehouse, it is much more cost effective to do that in
Ras Al Khaimah.
Exactly. That's why we saw 66% of increase in company registration year on year. 66%. That's a big number, huh?
That is a huge number.
Exactly.
So you're basically saying that Ras Al Khaimah is no longer just a tourist destination. Yeah. It's not just somewhere people go for staycations and vacations.
It's also a business hub. It's I remember when we used to go to Ras Al Khaimah as local people like OGs of UAE.
And wait, what would you go for? Is it because it was resort and you would go?
Yes, I remember we used to go with friends, book a nice villa in Ras Al Khaimah, enjoy the beach, the mountain. Don't forget, Ras Al Khaimah has the highest mountain in UAE, Jabal Jis.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yes, that's Jabal correct. Jis is the highest mountain in whole UAE. Enjoy, the weather, because Ras Al Khaimah has better weather compared to Dubai.
It does.
Yes. Like if you want to enjoy nature and all this, you go to Ras Al Khaimah side.
Even the water is beautiful. The beach water.
The beaches are gorgeous
beautiful.
there.
Exactly.
So I believe, from my understanding, coming into this just 3 years ago, that Ras Al Khaimah was sort of your weekend getaway for people in Dubai, right?
Exactly.
Right. And and there are a lot of water sports activity, mountains,
hiking, the longest zip line as well. It's in Ras Al Khaimah. Now they have more activities as well. This is part of the government plan to attract more tourists, basically. And for more tourists, you need more activities.
And not to mention, Abdollatif, it was also much more affordable back in that time compared to today.
You mean to just go visit?
To stay in a
hotel.
there.
Yeah.
Today, Ras Al Khaimah actually rates are even higher than Dubai in certain resorts.
Exactly.
I will say that the water in Ras Al Khaimah is probably some of the most beautiful waters and beaches I've ever seen anywhere. That the color and the turquoise and the white sand, it's gorgeous. So we know that Ras Al Khaimah has been a tourist destination. Again, we mentioned that it hit tourist record numbers. We know what the goal is. We know that whenever the government gets behind an area, places the money in infrastructure, that's going to bring more opportunity for investors. And in fact, we already touched about the airport and the taxis. What about Etihad Rail? What about their announcement, right, of
Exactly.
connecting. What do you know about that?
Etihad Rail is it's a whole UAE government plan basically that connects from all the way Abu Dhabi till Fujairah.
Connects to all the Emirates in Dubai.
In fact, it's also going to connect Oman as well for the first time, like the first project that connects GCC countries
I
together.
still haven't been there, by the way, but you've been there, and you've been there.
Yeah, I've been there.
Coast is gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Nature as well.
Exactly.
So, and we know if we study the real estate, we know when there's connectivity, that adds to the value. Just like we say, okay, waterfront adds to the value. Connectivity adds to the value. Of course, the casino, the first and only gaming casino, adds to the value. And so we know also population. I couldn't find the most recent number of population. I had seen 400,000.
It's 400,000.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Exactly. This is the population in Ras Al Khaimah. It's gonna hit 600 to 650 by 2030 in terms of population.
Okay.
But in terms of visitors, tourists, it was 1.5, and it's gonna hit to 5.6 million in 2030. That's huge.
That's huge.
This is one of the effects of the gaming in Ras Al Khaimah, basically. Now, if we compare this with different cities, takes for example like Singapore as an example, the effect was the increase of international visitors was around 123% after the opening of the casino over there. The expected in RAC 264%.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
And it's already broken ground, the Wynn Casino. We've seen it. And then they just announced the second property. Right?
Yes. The construction is going 24/7, by the way. I passed the other day. I went to one of my clients. He submitted an EOI and he said, come to my place, collect the check from there. It was in Marjan. I was living in Marjan. So I remember it was like 12:30 or 1 o'clock morning, and I saw the construction is still going on. And that's why, if you notice, the construction is very, very high.
Very rapid, yes. It's coming up in perfect timing. Exactly. I don't think there will be any delays with handing over the Wynn Casino.
And we, living in the United States, I don't know if you've ever been to Vegas. Have you ever been to Vegas?
Not yet. Maybe you can invite me.
I heard that this is going to be much larger than Vegas,
Correct,
right?
Yes.
They haven't actually announced the gaming license yet. Everything's proceeding as if it's existing. Do you have any insight into that?
Very tricky question. Okay. Let me tell you one thing.
Okay.
I remember a client came to me, right? And I offered him RAC as a second investment, to diversify, because he had already some properties in Dubai. And I told him, come buy in RAC because the casino is coming over there. The gaming is already being announced, but, it's not on the news yet. Mm-hmm. I said, no, but I'm not sure, I have some doubts, blah, blah. And then, if you remember, 1 year ago, it was already out in the newspaper, right? The gaming has been already announced to Ras Al Khaimah. Listen, as I told you, if we go back, all right, first point, it's one factor that makes Ras Al Khaimah.
Exactly.
I'll give you another example.
Yes.
If we go back with the time again in Dubai, Ahmed, you remember, before Expo, people used to say, buy, it's Expo, Dubai probably is gonna boom, blah, blah. Exactly. And some people were divided. I will wait after the Expo, and some, no, I will buy before the Expo. Exactly. So, there was two type of people, either after or before Expo.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
Now, Expo finished already more than 3 years, right?
I mean, the fact that Wynn bought a second property and has already broken ground on the first one, they're clearly betting that everything's proceeding.
Gigi, you are already from United States. You know what Wynn means for you, right? So I think
actually, it was just recently I read somewhere where they did clearly mention, Wynn Casino mentioned in the U.S. that the Wynn Casino in Ras Al Khaimah, the gaming area, the casino area will be 5 times larger than the one in U.S. So if they were not carrying or holding the gaming license, why would they make such a large gaming area, a casino
itself?
I know,
logically everything, obviously. It's just that official, just that final official stamp is what I also ask. Has that
I want to ask you something.
Yes, ask me.
If you're going to wait till something official, do you think that you will get the same price that we get today?
Not. Absolutely not. And then you have to also look at the names of the developers that have purchased plots and started launching and selling. We're not talking about Mickey Mouse cowboy developers. We are really talking about
Mickey Mouse,
the
I like
biggest
it.
name. You like that? I love Mickey Mouse. But the largest, biggest names, such as Ellington, and because it's Ellington on here, I won't mention all the other names, but all the largest names of developers have bets.
Especially
again.
the hospitality brands.
The hospitality brands.
Yes.
So Ellington had already launched on Marjan Island. In the second segment, we'll talk about what you have coming up as well in Ras Al Khaimah. So to your point, Abdollatif, I think it's really important because my investors do ask me this. Look, we don't see the official, but yet everything is proceeding as in if it's happening. So if Wynn has purchased 2 properties, they've already broken ground, all the largest names of developers have already launched and sold out, right? Including Ellington, of course, but all the largest names. But I think what's really, really, really important, we mentioned it, I want to hone in on it again, that Ras Al Khaimah is already growing and is already seeing the numbers and the price per square foot increase due to multiple industries, such as we mentioned, manufacturing, trade, health, pharmaceuticals, and tourism already, right?
Yes.
So it is a strong, solid buy. And I would ask you this question. How would you compare it to Dubai? If someone has money to invest and it's Dubai or Ras Al Khaimah, what would you tell them? I'm sure you're asked this all the time.
Of course. First of all, see, you mentioned something very nice
Tell me.
about right. Okay, like all the developers. Now, can you name a place in Dubai that you will see all the top developers in one place?
No.
No.
You know what, Abdollatif? That is a very good point. They're all segregated in their own areas, not all in one
Location.
Wow.
This already answers half of the question already.
Wow.
And not only like any developer, the top, the biggest in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, all of them are in
One place.
one place.
I
Ras
mean,
Al
I'm just
Khaimah.
going to say, we're talking about Aldar, we're talking about
Emaar,
Emaar, we're talking
exactly.
about Nobu, we're talking about
Damak,
Ellington, Damak, we're talking
Ellington,
about, and I
exactly.
know some others that are launching soon. It's
And also, not only this, also brands. Like we've
Yes,
seen brands.
JW Marriott, you have the Fairmont, you have big hospitality brands
You're right.
right next to each other.
Exactly.
And it's so beautiful the way. Can you talk a little bit about how the Ras Al Khaimah, how the name of all the little
Okay, so
islands?
exactly. So mainly there are 3 main islands basically that we've seen a lot of projects are launching over there. We start with Mina Arab. This is where we did our first project in a collaboration with Rak Properties themselves. And guess what? We were sold out in same day. Like, for us, I've been with Ellington more than 5 years, all right? So for me, it was really new experience to sell something outside Dubai, okay? So I was not expecting that much demand in Ras Al Khaimah. I thought, okay, it's going to be normal. Maybe not sold out in same day. Maybe it will take 2-3 months. Shockingly, it was sold out same day in a matter of 2 hours. Okay, and this is not even a Marjani, this is Mina Arab. And Mina Arab is really beautiful. And it's a mix of apartments, villas. We've seen branded villas over there, beautiful beach access and all this. So it was a really successful project for us, all right? We were one of the reasons, actually, that we increased the prices in Mina Arab. Okay.
Because of the Ellington effect.
Ellington effect. Exactly. You still remember that, yeah?
I'll never forget it. Actually, if anybody wants to know more about the Ellington effect, I have an entire podcast where we just talked about Ellington.
Exactly.
So I will link to that. So.
Exactly. So then we went, there's another island called Hamra Island. Hamra, it's vibrant mix between golf course, water views, you have the lake. It's an international golf course, 18-hole international golf course. It has 8 entry and exit, for example, itself. And there are people already living over there. It has schools, again, hotels, branded apartments, everything, all right? And then the Marjan Island, which consists, the biggest one compared to all other islands, and is a home for the main other developers. And it's a home for Wynn Resort, basically, as well. So 3 devs. So, I had so many clients for Ras Al Khaimah, right? So some of them, they love Mina Arab. They don't want to be in Marjan. Okay. Some of them, they love Al Hamra because, they want to play golf. They want to be in the middle, not inside, because Marjan might be a busy area. You will see a lot of tourists. So they want to be, nearby, but not inside. Like downtown business.
They don't want to
bay.
be part of the hustle and bustle, pretty
Exactly.
much. Yeah.
So it's a mixed thought basically. But what attracts Ras Al Khaimah today, Ras Al Khaimah is that all these 3 islands are directly on the sea with beach access, right? The entry price of Ras Al Khaimah today is very, very affordable.
What is it?
See, okay, when we started, now just to see how the price increased. When we started in Ras Al Khaimah, we were at 1,500 dirham per square foot.
Okay. And
Okay.
what year was that?
2.5 years
Okay.
ago. Okay. Today, the last project that we announced and we are selling is 3,000 dirham per square foot. Nothing below 3,000 dirham per square foot. Okay. This is 100% increase.
In 2.5, 3 years.
Exactly.
And that's without the casino there. Yeah.
Exactly. So this shows the demand is increasing higher and higher. Like I've seen different nationalities, especially locally. Local clients that they want to diversify. They want to have their second investment in Iraq. Okay, they tried Dubai. Dubai is beautiful. All right. We already seen the price increase in Dubai. So now let's acquire new opportunity where we can maybe triple our money as well in that. And where is that? Habibi, come to Iraq.
Come to that. I love that. I want to trademark it. So actually, Knight Frank did a report that I talk about quite often where they studied waterfront properties globally.
Yeah.
And what we find is that waterfront commands higher capital appreciation and higher rental returns. And so we know that it's proven. The numbers are proven. And then the opportunity, and like if you're speaking right now, 3,000 dirhams per square foot right now, but we look at waterfront properties in Dubai. What are waterfront properties in Dubai right now?
Well, actually, we're going pretty much head to head with Ras Al Khaimah right now. I mean, I just recently saw a project, a hospitality brand being launched in Ras Al Khaimah, where the price is somewhere around 4,000 dirham per square foot. So you're looking at Ras Al Khaimah going head to head with Dubai prices. And that's the question I usually have with my investors, that at the end of the day, with all due respect, we know what's happening in Ras Al Khaimah.
We know.
But we also need to bear in mind that the majority of the buyers and investors are basically assuming. We're still assuming that this could happen, that could happen, price-wise, valuation-wise. Dubai already has proven track. Ras Al Khaimah does not have a proven track. So this is something new for us.
Yeah.
There's a rumor in the market. Of course, I'm sure you work with a lot of brokers who are going out and saying buy right now. I would not be surprised if the prices touch up to 10,000 dirham per square foot once the casino's up and
Really?
running and operational. I find that to be quite difficult to believe. I mean, look at Palms today, highest price you're looking at is roughly around 7,000 dirham. Palm's been there for over 2 decades to build that kind of credibility. And it's one of a kind. It's one of the 8 wonders of the world. True, Marjan Island will also be one of the first and only islands in the GCC country that will have a casino. No doubt, it has its uniqueness. But then you just mentioned as well, they've already announced another plot coming, which will also have a casino. And then, of course, we've been hearing rumors that Abu Dhabi is planning to announce something very similar. We have rumors that Dubai will announce its own casino. But at the same time, it's been clear and announced by Wynn Casino and Marjan Island that for the first 3 years after Wynn Casino is opened up, no other emirate will be allowed to announce or even launch a casino. So it's a matter of 3 years, Abdollatif. So that makes it very difficult especially for Gigi and I, for the last 3 years. We've had investors ask us, what do you guys think if we get in Ras Al Khaimah? As a first-time investor, especially being an American, we personally did not find it safe for them to enter a market that is speculative. That's the word I was looking for. I believe Ras Al Khaimah is still on a speculative price range. Why? Because a lot of newcomers who have no experience in real estate jumped in the opportunity, assuming we buy something right now. Before the casino opens up, we will walk away with 25, 30% capital appreciation and we will move out. And to be all fair, we are seeing that in a resale market.
It's
we
100%.
Yes, we are seeing people actually walking out, trying to cash out even at OP price because they were assuming they could buy and sell within the next 6 months. So yes, there is that question will always be there. But then Abdollatif made a very valid point. Do you want to wait and find out whether if you're going to enter at these prices or are you going to end up paying more because you missed the boat? So it's a risk that everyone should have the appetite for in order to take the chance.
I like what you said, Abdollatif, and I agree with you when you said that the local investors that are looking to diversify their investment, this is a conversation I've been having since the beginning, since I started doing this 3 years ago. When they come to me, the first question I ask is, well, what are you looking for? What are your goals? If you're looking for the maximum upside, but there's going to be a little bit of a risk involved, that would be Ras Al Khaimah. If you're looking to diversify, we've already placed you in Dubai, which is, like you said, proven track record. There's little to no risk, especially if it's with the right developer, which, as you can see by the Dubai Connect podcast, we only talk about the top tier proven developers such as Ellington.
Thank you.
You know, you're always getting awards for your craftsmanship and your design and your timely delivery, and it's proven. You know, it's not a risk.
You can ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, very easy. Good point. So, but ChatGPT isn't always right, by the way.
Yeah.
Be careful. Con cuidado.
Yeah, I had a client that
Okay.
I usually ask, how do you know us? You know,
Okay, okay.
Some of them from social media, reference.
I mean, from our podcast interview 2.5 years ago.
Exactly. Thank you. You made me famous. All right.
Did I find you a wife, though? That's what I want to know. Because I won't put some of that money in those envelopes at the wedding if I did.
You just started to sell wife. So I asked him, how do you know Ellington? Surprisingly, like he told me, I asked ChatGPT and he advised me to go visit
You're
Ellington.
kidding me.
Swear.
Wow.
You know, we're going to get this into part 2 where we go into Ellington. You have secured. So I own a PR firm. I don't know if you know that. I've done PR for 20 years, representing global brands. Ellington is killing it in the brand game.
Thank you.
Killing it. So mabruk.
Thank
And
you.
that is why we
proud.
confidently bring you on to share information about Ras Al Khaimah. We didn't bring on a Mickey Mouse developer. We
And
brought
as
Ellington.
an ex-Ellington employee,
That's right.
Yes,
could vouch for
exactly.
that.
I forgot.
I could vouch for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
How funny is that? You know, Ahmed and I were saying something so interesting before. We don't even know if the brokers here really realize how big of a deal it is to have a casino in an area and what that really, really does, because we've been to Vegas.
Yeah.
We know that everyone gets on a plane on the weekend and goes to Vegas. I mean, I've done it.
So many times.
Oh my gosh, for the dinners, for the shows, to just to get away.
At least once a month, I would say, on a weekend. At least once
That's what
a month.
everyone does. Okay, it's just what you do. You go to Vegas for the weekend, okay? So we know, though, that Vegas has drawn, let's say from China, for example, you know, significant numbers. But now what's going to happen, Abdollatif, with it being here, you're drawing a whole nother segment of nationality of investors. And now the Americans are even going to be more inclined. Already Dubai has hit top tourist destination multiple years in a row, according to TripAdvisor, and multiple parameters that monitor tourism. But now Ras Al Khaimah is buzzing. I have, especially Arab Americans, but a lot of Americans that know about Ras Al Khaimah, they're going to want to come out. So you have the Asians.
Yes.
You have, of course,
Europe.
the Middle Eastern people that now don't need to go to Vegas to go to and enjoy the casino. And then now you have the North Americans. And I know you already have South Americans that are going to be coming here. I don't even know if people here really understand what is going to happen.
Because I believe majority of the brokers, and I think it's safe to say, I would say 90% of the brokers that I see in the market, I don't think they've ever been to Vegas.
A casino. Have you been to a casino? Are you allowed to say? Mommy's going to get mad. Never mind, get that question.
I'll tell you. So, as a Muslim, you know, we're not allowed to gamble, all right? But I visited Monte Carlo, all right, to have the experience, not to gamble.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, that's the other thing we were discussing.
We're not gamblers either, but you don't go to Vegas just to gamble.
Yeah, but this is what we want to clarify on this podcast, which is very important. there's a misconception when people use the word casino, they assume that whoever walks through that door is strictly there for casinos. But that's why Gigi's saying, if you come to Vegas, you will realize people are coming there with their families, because Vegas is not just about entering a casino and sitting on a gambling table. You have every kind of entertainment you could imagine that is available there to accommodate families. So when we go to Vegas, we used to go, the best shows that the entire US could offer are being performed in Vegas. The best eating F&B outlets, the prime restaurants, international Michelin star restaurants, from a cheap buffet to a high maintenance Michelin star restaurant, you will find it in Vegas. The best resort style amenities, such as your swimming pools, your spas, your the branded outlets, retail outlets, it's there. And this is what we want to see, which we are actually looking forward to see. Is Ras Al Khaimah going to offer that to everyone? Or are they going to try to keep it for a certain segment of type of class of people, where they only want the rich to come over there?
That's a great question.
It is, because with all due respect, what we see in Dubai, it's always about the glitter and the glamour. You have to be rich. You have to be certain level of class. There you go, to enjoy certain locations. And I will give you guys a good example. Let's take Atlantis Royale, for example. There are restrictions as far as who could go in and visit the hotel and who cannot. And we've dined a lot of times over there. It is not cheap to dine in those restaurants.
Not even to sit at the coffee shop. It's not cheap there.
But can you say the same thing for Vegas? No, because in Vegas, you could sit in one of the best buffet restaurants for $10.
They're famous for their buffets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, they're famous for their buffets. All the way up to $150 for a buffet restaurant. So that would be my question to see, is Ras Al Khaimah Wynn Casino going to focus and cater only to the rich and famous?
Do you know the answer?
Or not?
See, when I visited personally in Monaco, wow, what a beautiful design. The entrance,
The ambiance.
Exactly. The people, the cars that you see, top, best, rich, everything you can find there. And then, of course, I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. Okay.
That sounds like
I didn't have reservation that day. Okay. I had to wait for 2 hours to get to that restaurant. And the best, like the restaurant out there, the best ones. Top rating.
So you're talking about fine dining
dining, and then you have the brand. So then I assume if they have there in Europe, okay, and UAE is way better. With all due respect to all country, UAE always has the best
of the best.
Of the best. Like the quality of food, the quality of service, you cannot find. Like you've been visiting so many countries. I visited also so many countries. You cannot have Dubai and UAE experience anywhere else. So if they have all this, imagine what we will have then. It's just a matter of 2-3 years, and then everyone will be shocked.
How exciting. And the other thing that we're missing, and the topic we're missing, is the need for real estate to house all the employees that are going to be coming and moving here once that casino takes place. So yes, there are already investors that are, as you said, speculating that everything's moving forward, which logically it seems that it is. But then also once that's there and all the industry's there, we know from what happened in Vegas, the amount of housing then that also is needed to house them as well. We already know Ras Al Khaimah already has a growing GDP and is already doing very well economically. And that's proven, right? We can go and do the numbers. What's going to happen once the gaming industry is there?
Okay, so I read some reports as well.
Okay.
Reports from Bloomberg, basically. Singapore has 1.6% GDP from the gaming.
Okay.
If we're going to implement the same number, just the same number that Singapore has, Iraq will have $600 billion in terms of revenue. Just for 1.6% GDP as well.
Wow.
So these are huge numbers, guys. This is not joke. Like as I told you, Iraq themselves, they are spending around 500 billion dirham to enhance the whole Iraq Emirate, basically. All right.
You're making me want to buy there.
You should. Okay, you really should. Same as like I told one of my clients as well. let's assume worst case scenario.
Okay.
Let's say, okay, the expectation, it was not that high, like as we spoke before. You're gonna have beautiful house next to the beach, sea view, for less than Dubai pricing, like less than half of Dubai pricing.
In a 15-minute taxi ride.
50 exactly.
15-minute
Use it,
or
you know,
taxi.
for your friends, for your family, for me. Okay, give it as a gift. Airbnb. I have a rule. Every deal I give to my clients, they have to give me 1 week short-term rent for free.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so I have now around 6 month free staycation in Ras Al Khaimah.
Starting today, that is going to be a new rule I'm implementing. Instead of me having to pay for Airbnb every time I come here and stay here for 2 months. Thank you for that idea. Ding, ding, ding. Between that and trademarking, come to Rock Habibi.
Yeah, exactly. You want to hear some crazy number about Ras Al Khaimah? Let's take 5 years, okay, time frame. The difference in prices between different Emirates, okay? Dubai, it was around 74% increase. Okay, last 5 years. Sharjah, 63%. Abu Dhabi, 40 something. RAK, more than 320% on the past 5 years.
Yes. They were extremely cheap before even all this announcement.
Yeah.
Our clients are going to be very happy that did invest in Ras Al Khaimah.
100%. And my grandfather used to say, oh, this house was cheap that much. My father then, you see this house? 10 years ago, it was that much. Today is this much.
Correct.
I don't want to say the same to my children in future. You see this house in Ras Al Khaimah used to be this much, today is this much.
But Abdollatif, I have a question. This same question implies towards Dubai Islands today. For example, Dubai Islands will have a total of 87 hotel and resorts.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you not feel that 87 hotel and resorts will basically interfere and compete if a lot of investors are planning to have Airbnb over there? That's a lot of keys, to have in one location. So my question would be, would that be an issue with Ras Al Khaimah as well? Because everyone who's purchasing over there has one thought, that we will use it as an Airbnb, because you don't have people moving to Ras Al Khaimah with families because of a job situation, because they're trying to live and move to Ras Al Khaimah. So everyone's looking into Airbnb, and we don't know the exact number. So far, the official numbers given is 15,000 hotel keys. 3,500 have already been delivered. You have 12,000 residential keys so far that have been officially announced with the launch. We don't know yet how many more hotels and resorts will come there. Do you think that's going to affect the investors? I mean, that is a question that we have as well.
Very good question. All right. For this, we need to see the population growth in UAE and then specifically in Ras Al Khaimah. We did also a study. We did a forecast as well from 2023 till 2030. All right. Yes, number of projects are increasing, but at the same time, the demand of Ras Al Khaimah also is increasing. All right. I told you we're gonna hit 264% international visitors.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, okay, take this example. Are you coming alone to Wynn? No, right? You're gonna come with your friends,
Exactly.
family.
Just like Vegas.
Yes,
we
5 to
mentioned.
6 people, right? And now, if you go to a hotel, 5 to 6 people, you will never get one room.
Correct.
You have to take more rooms, all right? So in these cases, in a lot of cases, taking short-term and Airbnb is more affordable for big group. That's why I always tell my clients, consider 2-bed, 2+ maid, 3 beds, 4-bedroom villas, this type of investment in Ras Al Khaimah, because usually if you go with a studio and 1 bed, then you are gonna compete hotels, all right?
Very good advice. Very strategic advice. I like what your viewpoint is on that.
It's all also depends on the government vision in terms of, the tourism and all that. If that strategy really work, which I'm sure it will work, inshallah, all right, then you will see whatever we are saying now, it's going to be true in future, all right? Again, today, the affordability of price in Ras Al Khaimah compared to Dubai, it's a very advantage point. Now, you asked me earlier about the advantage and disadvantage of Ras Al Khaimah. Right? The advantage is a very low entry ticket in Ras Al Khaimah, all right? Fast-growing Emirates compared to other Emirates as well. A hub for a lot of businesses, as we mentioned earlier, like logistics, pharmacies, construction, and all this. Now, let's say the risk, I won't say disadvantage, I will say the risk is still, Iraq is maturing. It's developing right now. It needs some time, right? It has less liquidity compared to Dubai because there is not much secondary market happening in Iraq right now.
Correct. Good point.
Because the way that I see it, if we look who's like driving real estate markets, agents, right? So number of agents in Dubai, like active agents, is around 60,000 agents in Dubai real estate markets. I saw a report recently that registered real estate company is 7,000. Imagine those 7,000 companies, they have so many agents, so they have so many offers, secondary market, off plan, all this. In Iraq, I visited Iraq real estate companies. There are less than 100 companies.
Really?
Exactly. So I do believe that brokers are a key factor of moving the whole real estate market as well. So the more, we wait, of course, the more companies will come, especially brokers, and then you will see, compared to Dubai, Iraq will grow. That's why I'm telling people, as you said, it's not 1 year and 2 years.
It's not a short term.
It's not
definitely.
short. You need to wait. And real estate is a long-term investment vision.
And on that note, thank you.
Okay.
We're going to come back to part 2 to talk more about Ellington.
Let's go.
So if you want to win in Ras Al Khaimah, you have to not only make sure that you invest in the right location on the islands, but also with the right developer. So we're going to come back in part 2 here on the Dubai Connect podcast with Abdollatif from Ellington, go deeper into what it means to have the Ellington effect, and talk more about what their projects have been, what have they delivered, and what is upcoming on Ras Al Khaimah. So please make sure to turn on your notifications. Check out part 2. If you are ready to invest in Ras Al Khaimah or have more specific questions, reach out to me now. Like, subscribe, and follow the Dubai Connect podcast. Thank you.